Arcades. What are they? Well, nobody knows and nobody cares. Today I'm going to tell you how to win the most tickets at the arcade, and it all starts with game selection. I mean, just because a game is fun to play doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best game to choose. In fact, fun is one of those things that you should be the least concerned about when visiting an arcade. This isn't a place for fun. This is a place to go to work. Let's start with what I will refer to as the deceptive games. Now, these are games that look like they will bring in a bunch of tickets, but in reality, they're filthy, dirty liars who would probably physically assault you if they had the arms to do that with. All right. Cyclone is one of the oldest and most recognizable ticket arcade games. Total scam. The objective is to stop the light on the jackpot space, but it has been scientifically proven by a YouTuber to be a ripoff. The machine has to be ready to give out the jackpot before you can actually win it. Otherwise, it just makes you miss even if you're dead on. Now, there is a way to get the machine ready for a jackpot manually, but the process is way too involved and a little bit too sexual for me to detail here today. The Price is Right seems like a pretty fair game show. I'd trust Bob Barker with my pets, and I'd trust Drew Carey with writing me some jokes to improv. This sense of fair play was completely lost when the show was translated into a Plinko arcade game. Now, the objective is simple enough. The puck rolls down the top of the machine and you push a button to drop it, and then you just kind of hope that it falls into the win zone. I mean, I gotta be pushing $100 spent on this machine during my lifetime, and I'm not sure that I've ever hit the jackpot, ever. Scam. Wheels. Wheels of any kind are bullshit. I mean, it's my favorite thing to play. I'm not gonna stop spinning them, but you're just completely throwing caution to the wind here, and that's why it's such a rush. In fact, if you like wheels as much as I do, then you're probably prone to gambling addictions, which I do not have, and I feel bad for you.
Let's go, baby.
Okay, let's talk about some games that are new to me this trip. Angry Bird Coin Pusher was a lot of fun. If you're familiar with the phone game, it's exactly like that, except that everything is different, and it's a coin pusher. It's a pretty fun machine to play, and it has some interesting looking features that I never activated, so I'm not totally sure what they do. And I mean, I love coin pushers, but they hardly seem worth it if I'm actually trying to be ticket efficient. It is worth it if you can cash in on a tower of coins, though. I mean, this was wicked tickets.
Baseball Pro. Big win.
Look down at your crotch and operate your tiny bat to smack balls into the outfield. Each time you make a successful hit, your digital runners will advance, but 3 outs and you're out at the old ball game. Unlike the other games we played, this one is all about timing. Get good enough and you can somewhat reliably smack a home run into the stands and bring all your little babies home. This is the first time I've ever played this game before, and honestly, it's my new favorite. Kind of feels like a Mario Party game of sorts, and a pretty fair one at that. Now, is it worth the cost? I have no idea. I was just having so much fun that I didn't really notice how many tickets I was winning or how much money I was spending. So it could be good, it could be bad, and I hope you find that information helpful. One thing I would definitely change about this game, though, is that it is way too low to the ground. I have to hunch over for practically every game in here. And it's one thing if I'm at Chuck E. Cheese scaring children, but this is Dave & Buster's, man. How about sizing some of the games for adult-sized adults, huh? The kids can use stilts. They'll be fine, I'm sure. Gear It Up is a terrible name for a game. I'm not sure why exactly, perhaps because it's completely nonsensical, but whatever the reason, it really grinds my gears. Gotta time your button press and release the ball in a way that lets it glides up the gear elevator, and then once you reach the top, you stop a spinning wheel for a prize. This one actually seems like it would be pretty easy to win consistently if you actually took the time to memorize when to release the ball, but I couldn't do that. I was too busy playing the Luigi's Mansion arcade game. You're going around a mansion and sucking ghosts with your little vacuum that works, kind of. It works, but like, not really, you know? I don't think this game actually gave out any tickets, and it also wasn't very fun, but hey, it's Nintendo themed, which means I'd buy it for $70. There's another new one for me, Shipwreck. The goal is to connect a 4 by tossing a spongy ball onto a grid. I'm not sure if you're supposed to bounce it or not. That's just what I was doing. This one, honestly, it feels deceptive. It seems easy. I bet you could get good at it, but it's definitely harder than it looks. And on top of that, if you don't do it very well, then, well, you're not gonna do very well. Now, are we? Now this game, Treasure Cove, is totally tickets. You operate a harpoon at the top of the screen and try to murder various fishes. It's a lot of fun. And I know I said that this game was totally tickets, but I actually have no idea if it's efficient. Listen, let's be real here. To actually figure out which arcade machines are the best to play, I'd have to factor in how much each of them costs, how many tickets I won, and then do like a math problem, I guess. That's a lot of work that I'm just not gonna do. I was drinking mad cider, man. I wasn't paying attention to how much shit cost. But that's just how it goes at Dave & Buster's. That's their whole game, man, to get you drunk and loose with the Benjamins. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. The whole ticket guide thing, that was a lie. I was lying to you. But I'm man enough to admit that, which kind of makes me king of the arcade when you think about it. I'm just gonna talk about some other games I played now. I'm dropping the shtick. If you really wanna know how to win big ticks at the arcade, rule number 1 is pay more money. Pay more money equals get more tickets, okay? It's not rocket science. Just drain the bank account, bitch! This cornhole game is something I would put in a home arcade if that was my reality. It reminds me of the comforts of the South from whence I came, but it also LED and gamer as fuck, man. You know, now that I think about it, there were a lot of fish-focused games at the arcade. I played a sit-down game that was a lot like Treasure Cove, though not quite as exciting. No cannons or pirate ships, you're just murdering fish. And then there's this game where you compete with other players to catch the biggest fish, and you're actually like winding the fishing rod and pulling it back like crazy, depending on your level of competitiveness. I'm telling you, if you pick the right games, you can get a real workout at the arcade. If you're weak enough, like me, that is. Dave & Buster's prize zone turned out to be pretty stacked. A lot of the times when I hit the arcade, I feel it's hard to spend my tickets because the only thing worth buying that I can afford are candy pizzas. Since D&B is a bit more adult focused though, you can find some more adult prizes like candles and face masks and shot glasses. Even the youthful prizes were pretty good though. I was briefly tempted by a Roblox and Yu-Gi-Oh! Blind box, but I think I'm gonna save my tickets for the Oculus that I saw there. I'm not sure if I got a picture of it, but it's a lot of tickets. I'm sure by the time I spend, what, $5,000 there, that I'll have enough tickets to afford the $400 Oculus. That sounds about right. How we doing, everybody? I'm here to show you how to win it, Deal or No Deal.
Tonight on a special Deal or No Deal.
This game is pretty much just the same as its TV counterpart. You blindly pick a suitcase that could be worth up to 500 tickets, and then you open up the other cases one by one, and you occasionally get a phone call from the man who wants to buy you out. He's trying to pay you off before you find out what's in your own case, but the way you win at this game is that you never sell out. No matter how much they pay or how much they say, you slap that no deal button even if you know it's a bad idea, because sellouts are the worst kind of people imaginable. Never sell out, kids. This isn't just the #1 rule of the arcade, it's the #1 rule of life. You sell out to the man and you lose your soul. That's just how it goes. That reminds me that this video is sponsored by HelloFresh. We've learned today that arcades can be unfair and unpredictable, but that's just the life of an arcade maniac. Some days it seems like the HelloFresh meal kit delivery service is the only constant that I have in my life. I like that it lets me avoid the grocery store, which typically features slim to no arcade machines, so why would I want to go there in the first place? On top of that, it really helps me cut back on my takeout expenses, and then I can funnel those savings right back into the arcade. Now these are next level strategies, okay? I don't give this advice out to just anyone, I give it to everyone. You're able to choose from 40 meals each week, and you can even customize them by swapping out proteins or sides, and I just really love this food, man. I'm always looking forward to eating the HelloFresh, and if you're curious about it, I think you should give it a try by going to HelloFresh.com and using code brutalmoose65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com, code brutalmoose65 for 65% off plus free shipping.